And it's a list of quite painful things to do. I have ripped boots on a drive shaft. The handbrake cable is stretched beyond the point where it can be adjusted to grip the rotors. And also, even though I replaced the end muffler last year with a good used one, it still has some surface rust, and some of the welds look quite bad, so I have to repair it. And all of those things are meant to be done in one place, under the car at the back end, and it won't be very cinematic video. I apologize for it in advance. So I'll start with the removal of the drive shaft, and it's extremely boring thing to do, and even more boring thing to watch, because all that you have to do is just to undo 12 bolts. So you just position the half shaft in the best place to at least undo one of the bolts, hammer in the socket into the head of the bolt, then carefully undo it with good tools so you have as little movement, unnecessary movement as possible. Then you have to just jack up the suspension, turn a wheel a little so you get a best position to undo the next bolt, put down the suspension, and then again carefully hammer in the socket and turn the tool so you undo another bolt, and just repeat it like that 6 times on one side, 6 times on other side. Lift, rotate, put down, undo the bolt. Lift, rotate, put down, and undo the bolt. And when you finish, you will be able to take out the half shaft. Oh! This is the half shaft I was talking about. So the boots were repaired. Maybe it was good enough for technical inspection 20 years ago when this car last time passed it, but it's not good enough anymore. I tried to source new boots. Unfortunately, I was able just to find one, but for now I think I'll just swap this half shaft with another one which has good boots. And maybe this type of bolts was a good idea, but 40 years later it's quite easy to strip the head. So my goal now is to clean the threads, clean the bolts, so it's easier when I'm installing everything back. And so I cleaned everything, added the missing hardware, and actually replaced 3 bolts, because I'm not sure if I will be able to focus, but the heads are almost stripped completely, and next time somebody would be trying to undo this, they would definitely strip and make a terrible mess. Now, since the drive shaft is out of the way, it's right about the time I removed the rear muffler. It needs some repairs anyway, but when it's out, it's much easier to take out the handbrake cable, which I will be removing after I take out the muffler. And this is the rear muffler I was talking about, and yeah, it might not look very nice, but it's a branded Walker rear Alfetta muffler, and yeah, it has some surface rust, and I want to clean it, and not only surface rust, but also it has a terrible weld job right here. So if it would be just for the looks, I would not care, but there's still a hole in there and I need to fix it. The muffler is out, I repaired it already, and now it's time for the handbrake cable. I didn't want to make you watch all the suffering I had to encounter here while trying to get out the handbrake cable. And the design is terrible. I understand why it's made like that. The gearbox is in the back, therefore the drive shaft is constantly spinning when the engine is on, and therefore the handbrake must be secured very tightly so it does not get loose and it does not get caught by the drive shaft. So it's quite difficult to get the handbrake cable out. The muffler is in the way, the drive shaft is in a way, and it's not that you can just disconnect it from the interior. No, I removed the lever for the handbrake. You still cannot disconnect it just like that. You need to disconnect it under the car also. So I've made some progress already. This is the handbrake cable, the old handbrake cable. So now I still have to disconnect it here, and then somehow I have to put in a new handbrake cable under the car. Magic. So this is the new handbrake cable, and I still have to disconnect this piece, move it onto the new handbrake cable, and then somehow install everything under the car. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh! I think I went around the most difficult bend. Terrible. The half shaft, the handbrake cable and the muffler are back in their places. So now I'll just tighten up the bolts, adjust the handbrake, and I'll be ready for the test drive. The car works like shit. Every time I think that it's the last video, but to be honest now I definitely need to synchronize the carburetors, to change the fluids in the gearbox, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully that's it. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it at least a little bit interesting. And next time I'll be synchronizing the carburetors. I have to buy a tool for it. I know that I can make a tool by myself, but I have few of these carbureted Alfa Romeos, so the tool would be just a nice thing to have. Thanks for watching and see you next time.